All right. Well, it's Friday night. It's another edition of the Insider's Room. Speaking of sports, and I've got my co-host here, Legion. And we're just going
Yes,
to talk
sir.
about a couple of things today. A few things that have been going on. It's kind of a busy day the last couple of days. You got the NBA draft. You got crazy Major League Baseball trading deadline today, and we'll start
Yeah.
off this a little bit just to throw something out at you. Just a little bit of news today. I was listening to. I know we've been talking about the OU Texas move,
Yep.
but no, I don't think anybody thought of that. How that might now put a little bit of a damper, a little bit of change in the expansion of the playoffs.
Yeah. No, that is true. I mean, and obviously, people, we're still wondering when OU and Texas are going to leave to the SEC, right? I got to say it's going to be within a year or two. I can't see it being until 2025 till the
Right.
contract, right? I just don't see that. ESPN would work their magic and make sure people are paid, and that's why they're trying to disband the Big 12. Because then, if they disband it, and then ESPN's like, well, if people go here and here, then I'll give them money, and then it's just a win for ESPN all the way around. So it's just crazy at the end of the day. But I had to like what Coach Gundy had to say about it when he got interviewed yesterday after Cade Cunningham got drafted #1 overall. An ESPN worker was on that story, and he was at Eskimo Joe, so he went over to talk to Gundy there. And, I had to like what he said. He's just like, well, if it's up to me and if I was in that kind of position, I mean, you got to look to better our program. And he's just like, well, our program's been doing good the last few years. We got a solid foundation. And so who knows what the future holds, if the Big 12's no more, the Big 12's no more. But if it stays together, it stays together, So he can't go into too much detail and stuff like that himself. I'm sure he's probably told to keep closed lips and everything. But you got to like what the Big 12 commissioner comes out and, is just like, oh, I'm going to send a cease and desist order to ESPN. I'm going to sue this person. I'm going to sue this person. And you know what? If you're in his shoes, you're probably going to do the same damn thing because you're
Right.
pretty pissed off. Like all these people you've been doing business with for the last decade plus, and all of a sudden now they still cheated on you in a big way, and you didn't know at all. And so it's
Well,
I don't feel
right.
bad for getting mad. So that's my
But
take on it.
but here's the thing. I was listening to some people that they're talking about it, and they what I've heard is they didn't want this news coming out until after September
Yeah.
because they wanted that meeting and they wanted to expand the football playoffs with and having everybody, even though the guy that's put this whole thing together is the expansion is the head of the SEC, so he knew what
Yep.
was going on, and they were hoping that they'd get this thing agreed what they had written up originally agreed upon and make the SEC look better or easier or get more teams in. But now the only so now you got a pissed off Big 12 commissioner, and I heard I heard the rumors Texas A&M leaked it,
Yeah.
but so now you got a pissed off Big 10
Well,
or
of course they're gonna naturally leak anything like that because they don't care about Texas at
right.
all.
Well,
So.
but it also could hurt them in the long run. But you said that, but now you got a pissed off Big 12 guy, and the Big 10 and ACC are saying, well, and the Pac-12 are saying, well, what leverage do we have left anymore? Oh, well, screw you and thinking you're going to get 6 or 7 teams in a 12-team playoff and take half the money.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in September when that comes around. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like that's you think that's crazy, and then you looked at the Major League Baseball trading deadline today.
Oh,
Holy,
I mean, yeah, you got what's happening with Chicago there in the Cubs. I mean, I don't, who's left on that team that's good, anyways. I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Contreras.
Yeah, I mean, one guy. I mean, yeah,
Well,
turn the light off when he leaves, please. I mean, yeah, they're done. I mean, it's
but here's the thing. Here's what, and I know a lot. I follow this a lot because I'm like halfway between Detroit and Chicago, and you know my feelings about Detroit.
yeah,
So I listen to most of the day. I listen to Chicago sports talk radio.
yep,
The one I've always listened to pretty much since it was founded. But the thing is, a lot of Cubs fans are really getting pissed off about is that, they're saying, oh, we got one. They sat on their ass and they didn't sign any of these guys to extensions.
yeah.
And now they're like, oh, because of the pandemic, we don't have any money. You know what? they own everything around Wrigley Field now.
Yeah.
They bought all the apartments. They bought a lot of the bars. They bought like some bars and play areas, and they tore them all down and built hotels. They own
Yeah.
everything around Wrigley. They have buku money. They've got their own sports network, Marquee.
And you can't say that, right? I mean, they can't come out and say that it's a money issue for them. And when you got these other teams that are just like, well, how can this team afford this guy? And how does this team afford this? And then, you're watching all that happen and you're like, well, how are they affording all this? And you're saying you can't. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but their thing is now, but look at it. As long as it goes back to the years and years ago before Epstein got there. They didn't care if they lost because they could always fill the stadium.
Yeah.
And now they could always fill the stadium, and now they'll still fill the stadium.
Yep.
But now they own everything around the stadium. They own the bar, so if they're just raking in money hand over fist, and they turn around and say, "Oh, we don't have money for players."
Yeah.
They got a lot of issues with the Ricketts family anyway. So
no, yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest surprise from the MLB was yesterday when the Padres messed up getting Scherzer, and then and he goes to the competitor, and you're just like, how?
Well, not only that, but they get Scherzer and Trey Turner.
Yeah, and Turner, yeah, exactly. And you're
and I remember, to be honest, and see, I came here when Clinton was 13. So I think Clinton was 9 or 9. I think we came back from Thailand for a holiday for like a month, and we took the train in from Michigan. We took the train into Washington D.C. for 3 or 4 days. We went to a Nationals game, and living in Thailand and I following a lot. We kind of adopted them as I kind of adopted them as my team. That's when they had Bryce Harper and Scherzer and.
Yep.
And Rendon and all those guys. They were good, and they win the World Series. And I look at it, and then again, here's another guy that's got. I think somebody was saying today he's like one of, if not the richest owner in baseball. Is the owner of the Nationals. And he gets rid of Schwarber. He gets rid of Shorts. I can see getting rid of Max because he was the last year of his contract. But why do you get rid of Turner? And what? If you're going to do that, well, you might as well just get rid of Soto also.
Yeah, that's true. Because he hasn't been doing anything this year anyways, right? So,
Oh, no. Soto's been still good. He's been cranking some monster home runs. But what I'm saying is, but when Schwarber went out, then that kind of really hurt him. But again, why are you going into rebuild?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's a head scratcher on some of these GM moves of baseball. On some of that, you just, I have no idea.
and then the fact that the Cubs actually traded Kimbrel to the White Sox.
Yeah, that was from what? Yeah, was that today or was that yesterday?
That was today, I think.
Yeah, and then that's.
They traded like one of their other relievers yesterday to the White Sox, and then they traded Kimbrel today to the White Sox.
Yeah. So do you think the Mariners are going to stay relevant in the race here, or are they going to fall off like they do every year?
I mean, they could stay relevant, but again, I've been trying to figure out what they were doing.
Well, yeah, they give up one of their relievers, right, to the Astros.
They give up their closer to the Astros, and then trade away, then turn around the next day and trade for another closer.
Yeah, I don't understand. And they're actually got a pretty. They're ahead of the Yankees, right, and things like that. So they're looking good. But the Yankees are making these big moves, and they're like, okay, well, we're going to be contenders again. And I don't know how you get Gallo, and then they get the other big hitter there. I can't remember his damn name. Yeah, and you're just like, how's the Yankees affording all this for one? And they're just looking to crank home runs out of the park, I guess. I mean, that's the only way they're going to win a game, But
but again, look at them. They're battling. I think they're battling another 5 teams for the wild card. So it's not like it's a given that they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they might not, but hopefully Seattle will make it because they haven't made it in a long time, right? It's been more than a decade or something crazy. Hopefully they can make it, but we'll see.
Yeah,
if they do nothing in there, but I mean.
And then you look at the Dodgers, and then just before the deadline ended, the Giants get Bryant.
Yep.
So and that's a crazy thing. You got the Giants, Padres, and Dodgers all going out, getting people, doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
All and for two out of those three teams are going to play against each
Each
other
other.
in a
Yeah, exactly.
in a one game elimination game.
Yeah. And so then you're going to scratch your head. Well, was this worth it if they lose? The losing team's going to be like, dang, did we just waste all this money? Or, and the ones that win are going to be like, damn right, we made a good decision, boys, But, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and then you talk about MLB, just being crazy with what went on there. And then, then going to the NBA there on the draft. I mean, some teams I think did really well with their selections, and they're going to have pretty good prospects moving forward. And then some teams are kind of like a head scratcher a little bit, And the Thunder got to be a little bit of a head scratcher to me. I mean, I don't mind the guy from Florida, Trey Mann. I don't mind him. I think he's going to fit in well with their scheme. The Aussie guy, though, I think the Thunder, they're just trying to draft the youngest people possible at this rate. I mean, I don't know. That's what it seems to be, and I guess on the rebuild, I guess, they don't plan on being relevant next year or probably the year after. I think this is like a 3+ year.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. But they got
and that's what's sad though, because you got SGA there that's going to get paid a max contract, and
he's gone.
Yeah, the Thunder are probably just going to say, okay, well, we don't want to afford you because we're going to just play Tankathon again and go from there. So I don't know what the Thunder plan. I mean, with all these picks they got for the next couple years still, and they keep trading for more picks. You know who they're going to trade next is Kemba Walker. He's gone. He'll probably get
for sure.
Yeah, they'll get a late first-round pick for him or something stupid, and they'll have, probably 15 first-round picks, next year or something dumb, and you're like, wow, hopefully you do something with them, because eventually, with all these damn picks, you got to do something with them. You can't just sit here and say, oh, I got all these picks, look at me. And if you don't do anything with them, and the Thunder come out, and after having all these picks for years, and all of a sudden they make their moves, and it's, on the wrong draft with the wrong people, and it goes nowhere, and then everyone's going to be like, well, there's, the last 6 years was a waste of time.
Kind of like the Celtics.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just like the Celtics. So we'll see. I mean, I still think Cade Cunningham going number 1 overall. I mean, I think he's a good enough player to be in the NBA, but I don't know if he's going to be a great player. I think he's got to develop. If he can develop in 2 or 3 years, then maybe, but he's going to the damn Pistons. And that organization just seems to kill young players. They don't try to promote them and build them up. It seems like that's where you go to die almost. Unfortunately.
They got that new GM from in last year, and I mean, look, he got Sadiq Bey last year. He drafted Sadiq Bey, who was all rookie, and Cunningham. I mean, it's for as shitty as they've been, it's going to be a work in progress. What do you think about? What do you think about Suggs dropping to 5?
Man, well, I think the Raptors did. I think Scotty Barnes fits in their mold a little bit better than Suggs would, honestly. So I don't mind the Raptors taking Scotty Barnes right there. So the Magic were probably just like, wow, he fell in our lap, fantastic. That's why they took him, because they thought for sure he wasn't going to be there, So and Jalen Suggs, I think there's a lot to be seen with him still, because when you're playing on a star-studded team like he did, you're like, well, how good actually is this person, for one? Obviously, you see the film and stuff, and he can shoot, he can, create his space and things like that, good in transition. But you're just on a studded team. So when you go to, a lesser of a team, and you might be the second guy on that team, and it's only you and another guy, how well is he going to do, I guess? And so we'll see, but I got hopes for him. I think he's got a lot of upside. So I think the Magic taking him right there is going to be just fine. The Warriors, I think that their draft was pretty bad in my opinion. I'm not a fan of Kuminga. I mean, he's got some length to him and stuff like that, but he's not as athletic as I think people make him out to be and things like that. I just don't think he really fits the Warriors' plan, and other players there. But the one the Magic messed up on is, why did they take Wagner at 8? I don't understand that.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
I mean, I would have taken Donovan Mitchell right there myself. I mean, I like Donovan Mitchell, so I think the Kings did a really good job right there, grabbing Mitchell at 9, just because he's good on both sides of the ball. Yeah, he's what, 22, 23 or something, so he's older, and people were scared about that, blah, blah, blah. No, he's going to be fine for 7 to 10 years in the league at least, and you need a guy like him that he can play both sides of the ball and, be physical and things like that. And, that's what the Magic should have drafted right there. But no, they went with Wagner for whatever reason. And just because Wagner's 6'11", 7 foot or something.
Yeah, I think he's 7 foot now. He said he grew 2 inches.
Yeah, because I know in college he was 6'10", 6'11" or something. So
he said he grew 2 inches since the season ended. But I don't get the love for him anyway. I don't get it. He wasn't even the best player on Michigan.
No, he wasn't. And then when he went up against Garza and stuff, it's not like he just stopped Garza in his tracks or anything. If you're going up against the best player in the Big Ten, at your position, and then you stop him in his tracks and he doesn't get his triple doubles or double doubles on you and stuff like that, then okay, well maybe this guy's got some defense to him. But he wasn't doing that, so I don't know why.
Yeah, but I didn't watch many Michigan Iowa games, but I don't even think he wasn't it Dickinson that was against Garza.
I think it was Dickinson. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I think you're right, actually. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't get it. Is it because he's him and his brother?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the GMs are like, oh, we can't let the next Dirk get away.
Well, that's he. I don't think he'll be no Dirk. I don't know.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I mean, if he turns to be a Dirk, aspect.
I'm not saying that. But I'm not saying that at all. I don't think, no way, him or his brother, neither one of them, they're just going to be what they are. But no, that's what I'm thinking. All these GMs sitting around, well, most of them probably still aren't GM since Dirk was around, but they probably still got, I remember when nobody drafted this kid out of Germany named Dirk Nowitzki, and look what he did. Oh, here's a big white German. Let's grab him.
Yeah, he must fit the mold over there in Germany. Yeah.
It's a big white German. Let's grab this one.
No. Well, and then what's surprising with the Thunder, though, when they had the 16th pick and you picked that Alperen Sengun, I actually like that guy coming out of Turkey. He played in the Turkey League, and he's 18, 19 years old or something. And Turkey League, I mean, the league he played in wasn't just like a scrub league. They're actually pretty decent for over there anyways, right? And, he's put up some decent numbers, and I was like, all right, well, if the Thunder, got the one kid in Giddey, we'll see how he turns out. And then they get this center, which we needed. And then you have Trey Mann. I was like, that's solid. But then, obviously, Sengun's going to the Rockets. And you're just like, what, 2 first-round picks? One's a 12 and one's a 14. You're just like, come on. I don't like what the Thunder are doing at all, to be honest with you. I just don't. Yeah, it was a little strange to me. Yeah, well, yesterday I had. Today, no one wanted, Giannis's younger brother Alex. I guess no one wanted him in the draft. Giannis was trying to talk him up, saying he's going to be better than me, kind of thing, and maybe he will be. But no one wanted him this year. So.
Well, somebody might have picked him up by an undrafted free agent.
No, someone might have picked them up so they could be on like that on the G League practice squad or something, right?
Yeah, two-way contract. Yeah, like a lot of people have signed. Like,
well, we'll see what happens there. But honestly, I think the Bulls did good on drafting that guy from Illinois that plays good defense and plays. He can shoot the ball pretty decently and create space and things like that. I actually liked him. What was his name? Ao or something like that.
Yeah. Desuma.
Yeah, Desuma. Yeah. So I think the Bulls did good right there, and then you just keep them in state, right? So I think that works out in their favor. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens here. I mean, it's a lot to be seen. I guess the summer league here is going to be interesting for a lot of these prospects to see, how well teams drafted or not, right? And I think if you're the Thunder, you're probably thinking, well, hopefully these guys ball out so we can get rid of them and get more draft picks. I mean, that's probably what they're thinking. They're like, come on, guys, you better perform good. We need more first round picks here. We want every damn first round pick in the draft so we can have the number 1 overall pick. All right, I think that's. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. But you gotta love it. So, did you have any MLB bets going on today yourself, or what?
I got the White Sox line, which isn't looking great. I got the A's going later, and I couldn't. Well, I only found it at one book. Had the over/under on the Cubs game today, 9.5 against the Nationals. So I took the under because I figured who the hell's playing.
Well, no one's playing for the Cubs anymore, so take the under on their team.
Yeah, and Turner's not playing for the Nationals, so yeah, I jumped on the under 9.5. It's 4-1 right now.
Yeah, no, that's good. No, I haven't pulled the trigger on anything because, like I said, I was pretty dang busy there. But I got some tennis going for the Olympics there. I know AM. He's on Benzik to win gold. I'm on the other side. I mean, Benzik is playing doubles too. And she's playing the singles match. And so if Benzik can win the first set, then maybe she wins gold. But I'm thinking Vonda Rasova is going to win the first set. And then Benzik is going to try to waste a lot of energy in the second set. And if she does and wins the second set, then that sets up Vonda Rasova just to, just take care of business 6-2 in the third set or something like that. But so I'm on that. And then I'm on the Svitolina on the dog for the bronze match. Anyways, I'm going to take the dog in the bronze match and see. But I mean, I wish I would have bet on a lot of dogs on this Olympic tennis here because you would have been a rich man at these plus 400s, 300s, and this and that. I mean, I'm so mad. The other day, I took Zverev to beat Djokovic, and I put him in a parlay, so he was plus 400, and then I put him in a parlay with the other dog in the men's side, and Kavanaugh, I believe. And so I put both of them in, and then I had Toronto on the run line yesterday at minus 165 for plus 1.5 runs, and I didn't even need to do that. I just took money line. But then what killed me on my damn parlay was the sorry Orioles. I took them first 5 on the run line for plus 1.5, plus a half a run, right? Did not pan out. The Tigers took care of business. And I was like, God damn, man, $25 would have netted me, I was like, damn near $400. I was like, yeah.
I've had two 6-pack parlays going in baseball the last 2 nights, and the Brewers 2 nights ago, Hader gives up a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 9th to put it over. And then last night it was 1-0. I had under 8, I think, or under 9.
Yeah,
whatever it was. And the Brewers scored 8. Yeah, I had 8, under 8. The Brewers scored 8 runs in the last 3 innings.
To
win 9-0.
Yeah, and usually you hedge. You probably hedge.
I hedged a little. Yeah, I got over 6.5 at one point at like plus 260 or plus 270. So
yeah, my problem is when you got these tennis bets going at 2-3 in the morning. I'm not waking up, setting a damn alarm to say, okay, do I need a hedge on this match or not? I'm just gonna go to bed, and then I wake up. Oh shit, that sucks. But I didn't even have to wait that long. It was just the damn Orioles, screwed me over early. So at least I went to bed knowing I was a loser. But it sucks when you wake up and realize, the huge dogs won, but the damn Orioles, no, they couldn't handle business. And yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're looking like bums against Harvey tonight, which is crazy. But so I picked the wrong night at but that's fine. So.
But that's the other thing though. But when you're in a parlay and it's like your first game, or you're sitting there and you can't really hedge out on like the first couple games.
No, you can't. No.
Right.
And but sometimes you do this long enough. It's like Well, most of the time it's it's only one or two teams out of a 6-team parlay that fails, and a lot of times it's usually just one team. So if you lose that first team right off the bat, you're like, well, damn, I might as well put this parlay in for 5 teams because it's probably going to win now.
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah, I did. I was flipping around yesterday. And I couldn't find it for NFL draft. But I found the NBA draft. They had player props for position,
yep.
and I looked at because everybody's talking about Scotty Barnes maybe going to the top 4, and I don't remember the odds, but I know Suggs was minus 1,000 to go 4, and Barnes was minus 1,000 to go 5. And I thought maybe I should just throw a little bit of money, some pocket change on those 2 flipping spots, and I didn't do it. But the ones I did bet, I had Moses Moody over 10.5, and he went like 14. I had Kispert over 14.5, and he went 16, I think, or 15.
Yeah, nice.
I had Jordan Springer over 22.5, and he went like 28. And then I had to bet Aaron Henry, my Spartan, over 44.5, and he didn't get drafted. So
they that's a good night right there, because it's hard for me to get down on draft order and stuff like that on what team should take what without doing like a solid day of probably research on what team, what does each team need and things like that, and why would they select this person over this person and stuff.
But yeah, I just took some weird those because basically if you're really gonna bet them, like and like a lot of them, if you're gonna bet them, you got to bet them early.
Yeah.
When the market first,
like a week before the draft happens. That way you get good odds, because you wait till the day of, stuff's done changed 6, 7 spots or something, like, okay, the value is lost on this line. And so, yeah, it's one of those kind of deals. But yeah, I mean, part of the reason why for the Thunder there, Trey Mann got selected from Florida there, it's only because of the coach going down there. And then when we had Donovan as the coach, from Florida and stuff, so it's just a pipeline to Florida, and
right.
Preston, he just likes people coming out of Florida. So I think every year you're going to kind of see, a prospect being taken from Florida, whether it's, from Florida University, FSU or something, honestly. So kind of knowing those, what the GMs kind of do. And if they've been a GM on that team for, more than 4 or 5 years, you can kind of start seeing trends. And where do they usually take guys from? Is it from the West Coast, East Coast? Is it from certain states, right? And then you can kind of start piecing the puzzle together. So on the next draft, you're like, okay, well, he's usually selected from here. So, if there's a prospect in that range, on the draft board, he's probably going to take that person, So those are things, just moving forward for myself, just trying to dig more deeper into stuff like that if I'm going to put money on those kind of deals. But, so, yeah, we'll see.
Your dog's got my dog going.
Oh, and my dog is just so the kids are outside right now. They're on the slip and slide, that I just got him. And so if you leave him inside, he's going to bark. If he's outside, he's going to be barking at them because he doesn't really like the water at all. And then the kids are going to try to get him wet and stuff. And then he's just going to be barking at him more. And so you're just like, he's no win. And then even with the bark collar, I tried a bark collar on that dog and it still doesn't work. He's just so furry and stuff. It just doesn't even work. And so it's a very frustrating deal.
Slide,
right? Yeah.
where's Bedlam at this year?
That's in. Oh, that's gonna be a good game. That's actually at Oklahoma State, and I'm probably gonna go to that one. I gotta go to that one just because
you gotta get. I'll drive down there because those guys are talking today. They're like,
it might be the last one. You don't know.
They were saying, but they're saying, they're just saying. One guy was saying it'd be interesting to like see the crowds with like at Oklahoma away games in the Big 12. Because they're going to get booed, and the one guy was saying, well, Bedlam. They're like, hey, is it even safe to go? Is it even safe for them to go there?
No. Well, the thing is, you're going to hear SEC chants if Oklahoma's just stomping Oklahoma State. You're going to hear SEC chants from Oklahoma fans. And then if OSU's winning, you're going to say SEC sucks or something like that.
Oh, I hope Oklahoma State wins that one.
I mean, yeah, it'd be nice, honestly. I mean, it would be, a good ending of a story, of an era anyways, for those two games. But from what I hear, they're going to probably try to – I don't know if they're going to play that every year, but I think they'll play, maybe set something up for every other year for those two teams, right? Since they've been playing each other for 100 years or something. So it's kind of like ingrained in the state, right?
I've been thinking
it's not beneficial. We all know it's not beneficial for OU to play them, and OU probably doesn't want to play them on a non-conference game, if they're later in the season, and they're, say, OU's undefeated in the SEC and they have to play this non-conference game. And they got to go play Oklahoma State, where Alabama's going to go play Citadel or something like that. And you're like, well, that sucks. We're playing non-conference, and we're actually playing a pretty decent team. And, Alabama's over here, just going to get into the play.
I don't know what Oklahoma. I don't know who has more in the Oklahoma legislature, but they could. I mean, they may not have a choice. They could do what South Carolina did.
Yeah. And maybe I think that would be good for them, honestly, if they did it every year, every other year. It's something like that will happen probably. So, I'm all for it. But honestly, we all know OU just spanks little brother every year, So it's just kind of like for them, they don't really care, And for OSU, though, you kind of care because if you beat them finally, then, yeah, you can make your rankings go higher. You can maybe get more, people coming out of high school maybe looking at your program over OU because they're like, dang, OSU just beat OU. So why do I want to maybe go there? Maybe I'm going to go talk to OSU as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that for not a smaller school per se, but a lesser fortunate school at football anyway. So.
Yeah, going back to a little bit the playoff. It'd be interesting if like all the other conferences get together and say, yeah, well, sure.
Yep.
But we're going to put like a 3-team max per conference.
I don't know. 3 teams. If they go to a Power 4 conference, it'd be 4 teams from each conference then, right? And then move it up to a 16-team playoff then, I guess. I think that's what they're going to
do. No, because then the whole thing about the 12-team thing was you're going to get some guys from the other conferences in there. You're going to get some little guys.
Yeah.
And no, I'm just saying because because if all the other conferences got together and just said, yeah, sure, but this is what, 3 teams in or whatever, or okay, even at 4, but then you're sitting there going, the SEC is going to be. I don't know. I'm just, as everybody else is just talking out their ass. But I think because it was the guy from the SEC that put this whole expansion thing together.
Yeah.
And then behind that, he's talking to OU and Texas to get in.
Yeah.
To the SEC. He's probably thinking, yeah, I can get like 6 teams in it. Give me these 2 teams in there. I can maybe get 6 teams, half the teams in the playoffs, and then take half the money.
No, exactly. And we all know this whole thing's all about money. Everything's about money on this whole deal. And so obviously, yeah, if you're smart enough, you're going to find out, okay, well, yeah, this is he's probably thinking that, honestly. I mean, if you're in his shoes, you're probably thinking that too. So they got to do something to eliminate that, or you're not going to ever see a Cincinnati school in there,
right,
or Houston or somebody like that. You just won't see that happen,
But I wouldn't mind seeing Cincinnati in the Big Ten.
No, but the Big Ten, are they going to actually allow people in? I mean, but they should, though, because the Big Ten, a decade ago, or maybe it was 12 years ago, something like that, they actually tried to say, hey, Oklahoma and Texas,
right,
why don't you come up here to the Big Ten? And Oklahoma, and they're like, no, we got the better conference.
No, because they don't want to play the cold.
Yeah, well, there's, like you say, yeah, the cold, and that's probably true, right? So it's just one of those deals. But now, I mean, they can sit there and say, okay, well, what teams do we want now? From the Big 12, if they're going to take any. and kind of go from there. But yeah, they should add Cincinnati and West Virginia, I guess. Honestly, to the Big Ten, might as well.
But Cincinnati, I mean, they won't. I think they'd still be 3 or 4 years with 3 or 4 years from sniffing
Yeah.
winning the conference. But I think if they get in the Big Ten and then they can recruit we'll be able to recruit a little bit better.
Yep.
Because they've always had good teams.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and you look, you look at the coaches that come from there. I mean, D'Antonio went to Michigan State. Look what they did. And we wanted Fickle.
Yeah. No, that is true. And then Y says FSU to SEC. Is that actually true or what? Or is that just still hearsay? Or are they going to have to? Are they really trying to push that? Because then it's going to be an odd number, right? So FSU, you're going to need somebody else. Who's the other team? If FSU gets in, maybe Oklahoma State goes to the SEC. Who knows?
Yeah, again, and here's my thing with that thing is to me again the only reason, and again I don't. It's like I've been talking before. It's like Texas is like Michigan now.
Yeah,
it's just it's all talk and a name, but they don't produce. Michigan basketball now. But
they just got one hell of a brand, right? Over the years, over the last 30, 40 years, they just got one hell of a brand and a following, and people will still buy their stuff, watch
like
their
games.
They suck, so.
Like Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
And then ESPN and a guy I listened to out of Detroit, Mike Valenti, he's from New York, but he went to Michigan State, and he talks about this all the time. He's like, you look at ESPN, it's like they don't want to piss because Michigan's got so many fans. Like they don't want to piss off Michigan fans. So you look at their lineups. They have Jalen Rose, they have Desmond Howard. They all suck. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they're always promoting Michigan. And like the other day, Howard was like, about not Howard, Rose after Team USA lost the first game in the Olympics. He was like, who would be a great Olympic coach? Juwan Howard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on.
No, if he wins a national championship or something, okay. Then that we can have those discussions then, I mean,
yeah.
But no, I agree with Y right there. I mean, 4 regional conferences, top 16 make playoffs. I think that's where they're going to go eventually. They're going to, the 12 team is only going to last maybe 2 or 3 years. And then they'll say, okay, we're going to move it to 16 teams after these other teams figure out where they're going to go, Pac-12, Big 10 or whatever. And that's what's going to happen. So by year 4 or 5 here, that's what we'll see. And it's going to be the new normal for however else long until, maybe the SEC starts sucking and then maybe the Big 10 starts doing really good. And then, ESPN starts making another move and making teams switch from the SEC to the Big 10. Who knows, right? I mean, but I want to put it past them at this rate. I mean, it's just all crazy stuff. But,
there's another thing I heard the other day. Just we can wrap it up after that because I know you're busy. But you know who we have to blame for how our performance in the Olympic team or Olympics now in basketball?
Who do we have to blame, huh? Is it like an organization or is it just one sole person?
Oh, it's us. Was it the 92 team?
Oh, well, yeah. When it's yourself. Yeah, okay. So you're saying.
No, was it the 92? Was it 92 the dream team?
The dream team, yeah.
But we went over there, and it was them and basically that, and then the Bulls after that. We went over there, dominated, but then people showed people how to like play basketball, the training, everything. The Bulls became a worldwide thing. Michael Jordan became a worldwide thing, and other people started
on their part, right? I mean, that was a huge branding momentum, so everybody knew the Chicago Bulls worldwide after.
Right. Yeah, half my students I taught English, like adults. I taught English in Thailand. Their favorite basketball team was Chicago, but they used to pronounce it Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. Chicago.
So
That's fun. Yeah,
so
well, I can agree right there. Popovich is the reason why no one wants to run his offense because he doesn't
oh,
know
no,
anything.
no, but that's this year. But I'm just
Yeah,
what I'm talking about. But that's how the world game got better because
no, that's true.
the
No,
'92
there's a lot of truth in that. Yeah,
and also it's a different game.
yeah.
It's a different game. No, it's a different game for this because and if you it's because you're not going to be able to stand out there and dribble ISO for 10 seconds and drive the lane.
Yep.
And if a guy breathes on you, you don't get a foul called in the Olympics. These guys
Yeah.
aren't used to the guys aren't used these guys aren't used to playing 90s basketball.
Well, no, we kind of seen that in the NBA Finals, right, where they were actually letting those guys
Yeah.
kind of play through
I
contact.
liked it.
And I loved the hell out of it. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, am I watching basketball from 10 years ago all of a sudden? Like, wow, this is kind of nice, you know? And then you can see it on both sides, you know, like, well, that should be a foul, but they're not calling it. So to the players, you're like, well, we played the whole season and the last season, the season before, and these are fouls, but now all of a sudden they're not fouls, like, you know, and they shouldn't be fouls anyway. So play on, you know? But and a lot of those guys, anyways, they played street basketball and shit growing up and this and that while in college. And some of them still play, you know, street pickup, even, you know, on the NBA, like summer right now. When these guys are off, they're going to go play, you know, in the street somewhere anyways to stay in shape and whatnot. And they're going to get fouled, hitting the jaw, this and that, you know, and they're not going to be crying, you know, and flopping around. They're going to man up and, you know, play. And that's what needs to happen a little bit more in basketball because I'd enjoy the hell out of it a hell of a lot more, you know.
Yeah, and also in the international game also. I mean, you're going against like national teams.
Oh yeah,
a lot of these people have been playing together since they've been 16.
Yep.
You know, even if they play in the NBA, they always go back and play. You know, the world championship, whatever. So you know, and it's not like us where we just roll out 12 guys and figure, that'll do.
That's gonna do, yeah. Yeah, they've never played a game in their life together, but we're gonna assemble this team here, and all of a sudden they're gonna have no practices, and they're gonna do just fine.
Yeah. Oh, what? The game's changed? What?
Yeah. Well, they did. On the Olympic team, they have to play what the Czech Republic or something, right?
I'm not sure.
I think that's their next game, and if they win that game, then they're in the medal round, anyways. So we'll see if they can win that game. I don't even know when that game is. If it's either tomorrow or the next day, I know it's coming up.
Wait, no, aren't they still in the group stage?
I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think even if they lose, somebody was saying something the other day. They think even if they lose, depending on all the games, they'll still advance because of point differential, because how bad they beat up Iran.
Yeah. No, I had to look at that because I heard it. You know, to be in the medal round, they have to win this next game, and if they don't, I think it becomes a real slim chance or something like that. Wouldn't even be possible for them or something. But so we'll see what happens with that. So. But yeah, no, good stuff. I better get going here.
Yep. I hear kids are coming in. So
yeah, they're done with the slip and slide action. They're like, no, this is boring now. You know, I've done wasted $100 on that damn thing. Now it's trash. So. That's just how kids are. You know, you know what? I should get them for Christmas. I promise. I think I'm gonna get them a big old box. You know, the biggest box I could find, and they'll play in that damn thing for months. You know, the toy that comes in that box, no, it's going to be played with for a week, and it's going to, I don't want any more, Dad. I don't like it. Oh, okay, you know.
So how old are your kids?
So I have a 10-year-old. I have a 6-year-old, 5-year-old, almost a 4-year-old. So 2 girls, 2 boys. The oldest are girls, and then the youngest 2 are the boys.
Yeah, mate, they're getting close.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. I'm almost, you know, the last kid is dang near almost done with the potty training situation. So
they're getting close to being very expensive.
Oh well, shit. I'm shit. Well, I just get to put my girls into a horse riding lessons, and then all of a sudden, they come home like, Dad, we want a horse, and
Yeah,
blah. I'm like sitting there thinking, well, I guess I'm never going to retire, at this rate. And so I was just like, well, this sucks. Like, why'd I even put them in this situation? So I'm going to have, their grandpa's going to come visit here next week. So I'm going to say, well, girls, you might as well sweet talk your grandpa. He might buy you a damn horse. But I sure ain't. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Right. Kate just asked, how old are you? He's done with that part of his life.
Oh, I'm only 32.
Oh, you crazy bastard.
Yeah, 32 and 4 kids, man. Yeah, most people are like, what in the hell? Actually, you know what? I love the town I live in. I took all the kids to breakfast last Saturday by myself, right? And normally I hardly ever take all 4 of them by myself. But took them all to breakfast, and then they were actually real good for me and stuff. I had to talk before we go into the restaurant. Hey, you kids better be if I have to get up, we're going to the bathroom. It ain't going to be good for you, So they were all just really good kids. And then so someone comes by, the waitress like, well, someone just paid for your bill. You don't have to pay for your breakfast. Like, what? Like, someone just thinks I'm a single dad with 4 kids. I'm going to come here more often. Like, I'm going to get free breakfast.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to go back next Saturday and see what happens.
What were you wearing?
I was in my sandals and, just sandals, my shorts, and just a regular shirt. And then my kids were just kind of, they didn't look like, they weren't dressed like nice to go to a restaurant or anything. They're just in their clothes they play with outside, So they got like mismatched socks on, I think. Like that. Well, I'm just like, hey, I had a free meal out of it. So,
there you go. There you go, free breakfast.
I was like, wow.
Come on, kids. I don't care what you're wearing. We're going for breakfast. Let's go.
That's right. Don't even do your hair this time, Let's just go to breakfast.
Yeah.
When I take them to the grocery store, just by myself and stuff, I always get these looks from like women, especially like moms and stuff, they're always just like, what is this guy doing all of a sudden? He's just over here and he's got 4 kids and he's in a grocery store by himself. It's just, it's the funniest thing, to kind of see some of that, but yeah, it's crazy.
Funny. All right, mate, I'll let you go. We put in. We pretty good show here. Kind of a little off topic here at the end, but hey, you got to keep it lively.
No, that's right. Everyone has a family, and it's just what makes the dream work for all of us, anyways, And
yeah, but you say that, mate. I was 36 when I had my first one, and I thought I had the world clocked. I was 36, living in Thailand without a care in the world, and then all of a sudden it's like, oops.
Yeah, no, it's no, well, with my situation, because my oldest one's my niece that I adopted, and so I was just like, well, I told my wife, I was like, well, we're gonna adopt her, and we might as well have the rest of our kids, that way they can stay somewhat close in age, because I told my wife, I was like, you better get all your kids out of me before I'm 30, because I ain't having any after 30. And she's like, really? I said, yeah, you're not gonna get any from me. Maybe the next guy over, but not me. She took that to heart, man. It was like one after the next, and I'm just here thinking, like, dang. Well, I don't know if I really wanted that either. Just one after the next. I mean, I had so many sleepless nights I can't even count. All right, I mean, it's crazy. But no, I love them. I love them to death, man. So I'm glad I'm young enough. I can still do stuff with them. So.
You're on video. You have to say that.
No, I have to say that. Yeah, we'll side chat after the fact.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this in Vegas after a few beers.
Yeah, that's right. Now you hear all the stories in, buddy. I tell you what.
All right, mate. All right. Thanks out, Legion, and guys. Yep. We're gonna call it a night on this one, and we'll see you again next week, 9:00, and hopefully we'll get Right Cape on and actually to talk instead of just sending us messages the whole time.
Yeah, no, that's all right. So, all righty, guys. Well, you take care, and we'll do it all again next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, Legion. All right, we're out.